The 1980s were a time of recovery following nearly 2 decades of political, economic, and social turmoil. To many people, the 1980s represented a clean slate and a chance to enjoy the little luxuries they were not able to appreciate or have previously. With the arrival of cable television in 1948 and video games in 1958, the once booming music industry struggled to find its place in these new times. Record sales of genres such as pop and disco declined. It is also believed that radio was a dying art. Trying to stay afloat during these times, radios refused to take risks on new artists and new music, and instead turned to generic-sounding corporate cookie-cutter bands. This meant there was a whole world of untapped music waiting to change the world. MTV, music television, brought the resurgence of rock and roll and pop music back in a new way. The creators sought to create a channel solely dedicated to the fairly new concept of music videos and music news. MTV revolutionized and elevated music by attaching another creative outlet to the fresh vocals that they aired. The 1980s came with a new wave of what was considered popular. Due to the declining profitability of music, industry professionals began researching the type of music and image that was successful, something that was practically unheard of in the music industry before. This brought significant change to many music groups, attempting to expand their influence by conforming to what they considered popular. The week leading up to the premiere of MTV, Billboard's Hot 100 list was beginning to look a little different than it had previously. With performers such as Air Supply, Kenny Rogers, and The Foreigners on the top of the charts, popular music was already beginning to change. MTV was striving to find a visually interesting and visually entertaining performers, and they were beginning to find them on the top of the charts. Music videos were not a new concept, but it certainly wasn't a popular one. Shows such as American Bandstand and Soul Train had aired music videos before, but MTV wanted more. MTV wanted to create a new medium to express creativity and wanted a 24/7 featuring music videos and music news. During the pilot episode of MTV, multiple video jockeys are recorded saying, "You'll never look at music the same way again," and they were right. MTV was a completely new way to get to know the artist. Instead of seeing a small picture on a record cover, or maybe seeing them in concert once in your life, you were able to see the band for the first time, see them dance, see them interact, and get a closer, more intimate look into the artists that you love. Artists that had previously been denied from the radio had a new, more receptive outlet to release their music, giving hundreds of artists opportunities they hadn't been given before. At first, many businesses and artists were blind to the impact that MTV was making on the music world. Some artists believed that their music should be interpreted by the listeners themselves, and that providing a music video was a crutch. Others did not see the benefit of creating additional ways to consume their music and figured that it was a time of wasted money. Reality soon began to catch up with these companies and artists as soon as the Billboard Hot 100 list slowly started to prove them wrong. The songs that aired at the beginning of MTV were selling more records than ever, including the first ever aired video on MTV, "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles. MTV was soon largely recognized as a promotional music tool which aided the success in many. Those who refused to adapt were left behind, with artists and bands that did not make an effort to hop on the trend soon realized the missed opportunity and the consequences of not doing so. Due to the small number of music videos that had been produced previously, MTV was having a hard time filling up the 24/7 time slot in the beginning. However, this gave bands with music videos that were already prepared a monumental advantage. Bands which already had videos, such as the Dexys Midnight Runners, who sang "Come On Eileen," were met with great success. Another example of a band that met success on MTV were Men at Work. The band realized that looks, attitude, and humor mattered just as much as their music. They wooed listeners with different, quirky videos, something which had previously been undone. They captured the hearts of many with their songs "Down Under" and "Who Could It Be Now," both reaching the #1 spot on Billboard's Hot 100. Their success also led to the band becoming the best-selling act of 1982, showcasing the show's newfound power and influence. These successful bands weren't necessarily the best, but they were a new type of performer, bringing a new type of media into music. Many different and alternative bands were also able to find success through MTV. For example, Duran Duran was visually interesting and had a type of style that had previously been looked down upon. With their eyeliner and dark clothing, some people were scared of this type of performer. These self-proclaimed freaks of music not only created catchy, different sounding music, but also redefined gender and sexuality in process. Viewers who had previously felt different or misunderstood or unwelcome were able to relate to the band and see someone like them become successful. The eccentric style tied specifically to Duran Duran inspired new, different styles throughout pop culture. While MTV was supposed to be a modern new outlet, many realized the lack of diversity. Rick James and David Bowie quickly launched campaigns pointing out the lack of African American artist representation. MTV's explanation at the time highlighted that they were a rock and roll channel, and not many African Americans had delved into that genre at the time. Nonetheless, this encouraged MTV to break out and expand their music range. Michael Jackson became the first African American to be aired. He was able to utilize his years of trained singing and choreography and create visually astonishing products. Instrumental to the world of music videos was Michael Jackson's 1983 release of his music video Thriller. The 14-minute masterpiece was not a video, but it was a story. Nothing of its kind had ever been made. The impact of this video was able to be seen immediately, catching the world by storm. Industry professionals stated that there were music videos before Thriller and music videos after Thriller, implying it completely pivoted the music video scene and inspired greatness in thousands of videos to come. In addition to the absence of African Americans at the show's start, many noticed that women in music were few and far between. Male artists dominated the charts, and one artist had her heart set on changing that. Madonna was one of the first and most iconic video stars. Nile Rodgers, a highly recognized artist and producer, stated, "There are better singers than her, there are better dancers than her, but Madonna's a star." Madonna was the ultimate performer, using her sexuality and her drive to change the world of female music. She was commonly overheard stating, "I want to rule the world," and quickly became a female icon for all women around the country. MTV was able to introduce all kinds of role models through their revolutionary show. It demanded more of an artist than just a song. It required determination, heart, energy, style, choreography, and so much more. Music was changed into a multimedia form of expression, opening the doors for many artists and viewers alike. It provided a platform for artists to inspire people, and more importantly, inspire change. In a world that had seen so much, people looked forward to seeing what the music world had to offer. MTV created a new type of media to capture the viewer's attention and allow us to both hear and see music in a completely revolutionized way.